Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
What in the actual heck is going on at the drugstore? You're about to find out. Hero Cosmetics launched a cleansing balm called the Dissolve Away Daily Cleansing Balm. Don't bring the day to bed, they say. Dissolve the day away with Dissolve Away. That's literally all it says. So this is supposed to remove daily buildup and grime. No, daily buildup of grime, I see. Remove makeup. It is allegedly, am I okay? No, really. It's allegedly supposed to be suitable for acne-prone skin and will not clog pores. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into a product actually making you break out, but 'tis true that there are no pore-clogging ingredients in this.
It's fun!
Standout ingredients in this include sunflower seed oil and rosehip oil. This does have one plant extract, it's very last on the label, called Citrus Juno's fruit extract, yet it smells like nothing. So not something that gives this a citrusy smell. This isn't something that irritates my skin whatsoever. I would not expect it to, given that one extract at the very bottom of the label, but just in case you were curious about that. So I have actually used this quite a bit now. When I first tried it, I was like, I don't know about that. I feel like this is too heavy, feels a little bit greasy, and I do think that it feels that way if you use too much product. So don't overdo it with the amount that you use, or it feels kind of gross. But if I make sure to just pick up a little bit of product, it does not feel that way, and I do think that it feels nice. It's softening, it removes my makeup. I don't have any issues with it. Do I want to reach for this over my Geeking Gorgeous Mighty Melt Cleansing Balm? No, I do not. While I don't have issues with this, I just don't think that it has that same amazing quality to it that the Geeking Gorgeous Cleansing Balm has. There is something about that that I just love. Oh no, about that. Did I just say it like that? My Minnesotan is showing. There is something about that cleansing. Did I do it again? Whatever. That cleansing balm, it just feels so good to me, and there's something that is unique in the way that it feels, and I really love applying it. Again, no issues. I don't feel that same love towards this. So not something that I'll buy after I have fully used it up, but if you're a huge fan of Hero Cosmetics, you wanted to test this out, I don't think you'd be disappointed. Oh my gosh, I was so excited about this. So BYOMA, I feel like, has just been on a roll with new launches recently, and I feel like they have started to become the new teeny bopper brand for those that are not going for Drunk Elephant. It's like the drugstore version of what is hip and trendy for tweens or like 6-year-olds, which kind of annoys me a little bit because I feel like it, I don't know, in my mind makes this somehow seem less impressive as a brand, when I think that this is one of the most impressive brands that's currently at the drugstore. The price is right, the packaging is adorable. Yes, I get why little kids love it, but they have amazing ingredients and amazing textures, and I'm out of breath. So this is their new Milky Moisture Cleanser that is supposed to be ultra soothing, gentle yet effective, conditioning, great for dry, sensitive skin, give you a fresh, glowing complexion. You guys know me and a Milky cleanser. The second I saw that, I was like, mine. This has a lot of ingredients that are hydrating, replenishing, calming, soothing. So things like ceramides, panthenol, glucose, oat kernel extract, cholesterol, vitamin E, lecithin, and licorice root. For a Milky cleanser, I would say that this one is good, but not excellent. To me, there are two Milky cleansers that I consider to be excellent, like best of the best. That's kind of my threshold that I compare everything to. The first is something that you can't pick up at Target anymore. If you've been around for years, you probably know what I'm about to say. The BYOMA, oh my God, what was that even called? The Milky Melt Cleanser. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was in this hot pink bottle, and you could pick it up at Target until they discontinued it and you couldn't anymore. But I fell in love with that cleanser because of how silky it felt on the skin, and the only other cleanser that I have felt kind of like is on that same level is the Roche-Posay Soothing Toleraine Dermo Milky Cleanser. Obsessed with that. Not the exact same texture as the BYOMA one. Wait, was I calling it BYOMA? What? Bybee. Oh my gosh, Bybee is the brand name of the cleanser that I used to love so much. It was the Bybee Milk Melt Cleanser. Bybee, BYOMA, they're both BY. So anyway, in saying that, Bybee and La Roche-Posay are the only two that I have felt are like so amazing in terms of how they feel and have that. Oh, hey Peanut Girl. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Did you come up to say hi to your mommy? Or you just see your BALL that we're trying to take a break from so mommy can film and pay the bills to keep you alive? Now I don't know what I was saying right before this, so I will just say that while I think this is good, I don't think it is quite to the same level as my favorite Milky cleansers. It just doesn't have that like amazing silky slidey feel on my skin. However, it's definitely nice. I like that this is hydrating, cleanses, gets the job done, does not leave my skin feeling stripped or tight after. Good, not excellent. I thought I would include the Prequel Vitamin C Serum in this video. It's not a brand new launch, but I did talk about it for the very first time in my morning skincare routine. I'll list that video below if you haven't seen that yet. But in that video, I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on which types of vitamin C you wanted me to test out. And by far, this is the vitamin C that you guys asked me to try the most. So obviously I wanted to honor that and decided to keep testing this out. This is the Prequel Lucent-C Brightening Vitamin C Serum. According to Prequel, this radiance boosting vitamin C serum is formulated with a potent blend of 15% L-ascorbic acid, ferulic acid, ergothioneine, niacinamide, and inulin. So because of that, it's supposed to brighten, firm, and provide ample, I like that word here, antioxidant benefits for a glowing complexion. So prior to using this, I was using the Timeless Vitamin C Serum. That one contains 20% L-ascorbic acid. It also does have ferulic acid and vitamin E, which this one I believe it does not have. Or does it? No, it doesn't. But instead of that, it has ergothioneine, niacinamide, and inulin. And I absolutely love using multi-purpose serums. If I'm able to use one serum that gives me tons of different benefits instead of having to use a bunch of different serums in order to achieve those benefits, then sign me up for that. I would so much rather do that. So I like that this has several different ingredients to help us to achieve these kinds of claims that they are mentioning here: brightening, firming, antioxidant protection. Obviously, I'm not able to speak to the efficacy of something like this with 15% L-ascorbic acid, but then all of these other things, versus something like Timeless, which has more L-ascorbic acid, but then not some of these other ingredients. I wish there was an easy way to do that, but unfortunately there is not. So I can only kind of share what is actually in this, what the brand's claiming, and what my experience has been, which so far has been positive. This doesn't irritate my skin, which is great. That's definitely something that can happen to me with vitamin C serum, and I know that I'm not alone in that. The texture of this, I will say, it's not oily, but there's a little bit more of a slip to this than something like Timeless, which is very, very watery. So while I don't have a problem with that because it's not to the point of actually being oily or greasy, which is where I have the problem, I could imagine that if you have incredibly oily skin, you may not love this and you may be looking for something that's more like Timeless and just has, again, that like water-like texture. But I do feel like this gives me an immediate glow, whereas with Timeless, I didn't really see anything like that. It just was something that I was using because I knew that I wanted the future benefits. This I'm using for the future benefits, but then I also get an immediate benefit of a little bit of a glow boost, which again, may be a deal breaker for you if you have extra oily skin. So far so good. I think that after this, I'll test out one of the pricier options that I was showing you guys in that morning skincare routine, but for now, I'm enjoying it. Ooh, okay, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this one because I first saw it on Dr. Dre's Instagram, and when I heard Cicaplast, but saw different packaging and then saw the gel texture, I was like, what? And in that video, Dr. Dre said that she used this around her eyes. So I was like, okay, I'm buying immediately. I love the original Cicaplast balm, but it's something that definitely is like too slippy to wear around my eyes during the day. So I was really excited to try something that had more of a gel-like texture. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is marketed as a protective gel that has been tested on post-procedure, post-stitches, and post-laser skin. It's supposed to protect and relieve areas with chapped, cracked skin, and help soothe a disrupted barrier. It's formulated with 21% glycerin, 5% panthenol, madecassoside to promote skin healing, as well as a unique mineral complex including copper, zinc, and manganese gluconate, plus hyaluronic acid and La Roche-Posay's thermal spring water. So just like the original Cicaplast balm, this is really designed for those that need calming, soothing, and healing on their skin. However, I have been using it despite not needing those things right now, and I am obsessed. This does have a gel-like texture, but it's not one of those gels that turns watery as you rub it into the skin and then just kind of dries down to be super lightweight. Like I can feel that there is a little bit of a slickeriness to this, but it's not something that feels like oil. The dry down is really nice, so it doesn't like stay feeling slickery on my skin. And I've definitely tested it out in the way that Dr. Dre was recommending, which is around the eyes. I do really like it in that way, but I also just like this all over my entire face. Like this is something that is incredible to layer for extra hydration and then all of the benefits that you can get in using this product. Like the glow that I get with this is so, so good. If you have dry skin, dehydrated skin, anything that could use some extra hydration, moisture, calming, but you don't want something that's like thick and heavy and occlusive, especially as we enter into these warmer weather months, like you're looking for something that you can add into your routine that will give you those benefits, but isn't so thick and heavy. Try it. Another lightweight moisturizer that I was initially so excited to try when I saw that it had launched is the e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Gelia Moisturizer. So I did not realize that this was actually kind of like a relaunch of their old moisturizer Super Hydrate. That was in a very light purple bottle, and if you remember that, it was just this like almost aloe-like gel. This is the replacement of that, but in the Holy Hydration lineup. It's supposed to be a bouncy gel moisturizer that delivers a refreshing surge of hydration for plumped up, balanced, and hydrated skin. Ingredient standouts in this include allantoin, squalane, hyaluronic acid, fig extract, prickly pear, and arginine. This has terrible reviews, or at least it did when it first launched, and that surprised me because I feel like lately whenever a product launches there are already tons of amazing reviews and it has like such high ratings. So I think this had maybe like 2.5 stars, which I was like, whoa. You don't really see that these days because of all of the review seeding that brands will do ahead of time. So while there were only a few reviews, I was definitely intrigued and bought it anyway. And I had full intentions of applying this so I could show you guys kind of how it applies on my skin. But the second I opened it, I knew that that would not be happening because the smell of this, oh, so like a lot of the other Holy Hydration products from e.l.f., this does contain fragrance and fragrant components like geraniol and linalool. And I'm just like, if you're gonna add fragrance, make it smell good. I hate this. What does it even smell like? It's just like nasty artificial floral citrus cleaning products, fake flowers. Gross. Like, I don't want to put something like this on my skin. And I know I'm dramatic, but like still. So even though I can't speak to how this actually wears on my skin in terms of providing hydration, I'll show you guys the texture, of course. I'll put it on the back of my hand. I will say the few reviews that I did see all talked about the fact that this did not do a great job hydrating. So definitely does have a bouncy gel texture and feels cooling and refreshing to the touch, which I always really appreciate. I think that's nice. Compared to that original Super Hydrate, this does feel nicer just straight away. That one had a really bizarre texture. Oh, no! Super Hydrate on the keyboard. This literally feels like cooling aloe, but not, I don't know, as like sticky as that. It feels really good. Okay, but I can imagine that this would not do anything for me because it feels so dry when I'm doing that, in the sense that like this makes it disappear. Is the occlusiveness in the room with us? Always wanted to use that. Anyway, so sorry if you were like dying to see me put this on my face and hear my thoughts after wearing it, but I cannot. You guys, it reeks. But hopefully you're at least happy I showed it to you anyway. Excuse me. This moisturizer, on the other hand, is fabulous. This is another new launch from BYOMA called the Barrier Repair Treatment. It's supposed to be intensely restorative, a treatment that you can leave on that combines humectants, emollients, and occlusives, slay, to instantly repair and rebuild the skin barrier. The rich, buttery formula helps deliver targeted hydration to the skin while calming redness and inflammation. Again, a lot of great ingredients in this, including ceramides, avocado oil, ectoin, squalane, shea butter, olive M1000, allantoin, hyaluronic acid, and licorice root. Honestly, when you first pump this out, the texture is kind of unassuming. It does have an adorable light pink color. But when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about this because it's supposed to be a barrier repair treatment, and I typically think of those as like very thick, occlusive moisturizers. But unlike the e.l.f. Holy Hydration, when I rub it out on the back of my hand like this, I can feel that nice, like lasting, what would I even call that? I mean, residue, I guess, but in a good way. This feels so, so good. Like, this is one of, Is it one of my favorite moisturizers ever? I just love the texture of this. It's definitely unique to my collection because it retains that slip. Like I can feel it on my hands, but it's not something that's unpleasant. Like as I'm putting this on, I'm just like, ooh, yeah, that's nourishing. But again, it's not super thick and occlusive like so many other barrier repair treatments. So I think I like that it's something different. I will keep playing around with this during the day to make sure that it plays well with all of my makeup and it doesn't disrupt my makeup throughout the day, kind of make it go patchy or fade more quickly. So I don't want to speak to that for certain quite yet. I have tested it out several times in the morning that way, and so far so good, but I've really only been using it with like one makeup combination. So I will try it out more and keep you guys posted on that. But until then, if you want a really, really nice nourishing moisturizer and you're not planning on wearing makeup on top of it, so you don't care as much about that, definitely one to look into. Prequel launched a sunscreen. I was so excited about that. We are coming up on sunscreen season. You guys know I am such a huge sunscreen girl. This is called the Sun Barrier Mineral Sunscreen with broad spectrum SPF 50. This is claimed to be a lightweight, semi-transparent mineral sunscreen that provides optimal physical protection while boosting the skin's moisture barrier. It's formulated with zinc oxide, bioactive antioxidant compounds, and bisabolol. It is claimed to absorb easily while soothing and protecting the skin and has a peachy hue that blends into the skin for a natural radiant finish. So similar to something like the Color Science Unforgettable sunscreen, this also has that kind of peachy hue that at first makes it look like this is going to appear tinted on the skin, but it's really just to cancel any white cast that would have happened due to the zinc oxide. So once I blend this into my skin, I don't have any sort of peachy tint on my skin, but I am very fair. So keep that, well, not right now because I have self-tanner roasting on me, but my natural skin is very fair, so keep that in mind. I don't have deep skin, so I can't speak to a white cast. Unfortunately, this one for me does just feel a little bit greasy, a little bit too heavy. It's definitely not something that I would be like, oh my God, it's awful. It's so oily. It's so like thick. Don't buy it. Nothing like that. But for me, because sunscreen is the last step in my skincare routine, it's something that I'm applying on top of a bunch of other skincare products. I want it to feel super lightweight and I want to feel good about then maybe putting makeup on top of it after. Of course, I'm not always wearing makeup, so that's not something that matters every single day, but that's my favorite kind of sunscreen. One that I know is just gonna be a really nice makeup primer and that isn't feeling heavy so that I'm then like, oh my God, I don't wanna pile makeup on top of this. And for me, I do feel that this just kind of falls flat in that way where it's just like not in the same league as my absolute favorites that I do consider to be really lightweight and that I love reaching for and love applying. I could pretty much tell right away when applying this that this wasn't going to be something I wanted to reach for often, but if you have super dry skin and you do like a sunscreen that's more moisturizing, this could be one that you really enjoy because of that slightly thicker quality. Well, Roche-Posay also launched a sunscreen. This is called, who knows? The Anthelios UV Hydra Daily Invisible Sunscreen Cell Ox Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Hyaluronic Acid. We'll just go with the UV Hydra sunscreen. This is a chemical sunscreen containing avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene, and also La Roche-Posay's thermal spring water. You done, Elsie? Okay, honey. Oh my God, you're so cute. I'm sorry. I love you so much. Panthenol, vitamin E, and hyaluronic acid. This is a very fluid lotion, but not fluid in a watery way because this has quite a bit of slip to it and it's almost to the point of feeling greasy. Not quite, but almost. And the finish on my skin is definitely very glowy, leaning dewy. Compared to my favorite sunscreen from La Roche-Posay, which is their antioxidant AOX sunscreen, this is just not something that I want to reach for. That AOX sunscreen is like water light and the dry down's incredible. There's no oily slip, but it feels so hydrating. I just love that. It's just too much of that oily slip for me. It's not something that I love applying. And I don't really know what this, like, I feel like La Roche-Posay continues to launch these new sunscreens that are now so similar to where I'm like, what's the difference between this and the last one they launched, which was like that SPF 70. Like they're definitely slightly different textures. That one is very dewy. So there are differences, but not enough to where I feel like it makes sense to launch both. I feel like I'm just starting to get confused. by their launches and would love to see things that are maybe more unique and stand on their own and have a clear purpose in their assortment. But that's just my ex-marketing retail brain. So yeah, I think this is one that you can just skip unless you love a like super slippy sunscreen feel, then you would love it. Otherwise, I feel like there are just plenty of other great sunscreens out there, including from the Roche-Posay already. Oh my gosh, I'm so upset about this. Okay, this is the Saltair Lip Oil Balm. This launched recently. They sent me, I think the whole package, like the entire PR package, which came with an untinted one and then 3 different shades. And when I first tried this untinted one, I was like, I am in love. This contains petrolatum, nice and thick and occlusive, and something I love seeing in lip products: shea butter, castor oil, coconut oil, and muro muro butter. There are so many things I love about this. The smell is divine. This is like caramely cake. It's so good. Oh my God, I love it. I want to slather this all over my lips right now, but I will make a mess. Well, here, I have to show you the texture. It is perfectly thick without being too thick and heavy. It's ultra glossy. It's so comfortable. Oh my God, you guys, I'm just obsessed. But the packaging breaks. So the first one that I have that they sent me in PR, it broke open at the top, where like this top like seam here split open in 2 so that the product was then dripping out, and every time I squeezed it, it would come out of this end instead of the actual applicator. I was thinking it was maybe because of the weather out. We were in the middle of a polar vortex, so I was like, maybe like this froze and like something got messed up in that way. But because I loved the texture and smell so much, I went ahead and purchased more on their website with my own money. I bought 3 because I loved it that much. I wanted to have extras. So I was especially devastated when it happened again. That's why I just opened this fresh from the package on camera, because after that happened with the first one that I bought, I didn't open the second 2 because I was just afraid to create more of a mess and have that happen again. I'm trying to look at this, like, how can I use this to make sure it doesn't happen? Maybe if I like squeeze onto this every time I use it, that would help. I don't know, I'm desperate because I love this so much. Saltair, if you're watching this, please repackage this, but keep everything else the same. This is divine. I just want to smell it one more time. Like, I thought this was going to be my new favorite lip balm. I really did. But nobody wants lip balm like this leaking all over their things, which is what happened to me. The Versed Pressed Restart Advanced Retinol Body Butter is something I was very excited to try because I really want to get more into using body care that has active ingredients that I also would like to use on my face. So things like retinol, exfoliants. I just want baby smooth skin everywhere. So I was super excited to give this one a go. It, aside from retinol, is claimed to have demons. 3 peptides and Takuma butter, Takuma. It has squalane, niacinamide, cacao seed butter, vitamin E, soybean oil, lots of goodies here. And this is called a body butter, so I was expecting it to be thicker than it actually is. I don't know if you guys can see, not that it's not like thick at all, but it actually, when I pick it up, feels more just like a thick lotion. Like, it doesn't have that extra thick buttery texture, which is okay. Like, it doesn't need to have that. I can get down with the thick lotion, but I can't get down with this one. At first, when I smelled this, I was like, that smells like Fig Newtons. But then when I smelled it for a second longer, and as I smelled it sitting on my skin, I was like, no, that smells like self-tanner. This smells like funky self-tanner. And I would know because I go crazy with the self-tan once spring hits. What? Oh, no. I refuse. Self-tanner reeks. I hate the smell of it. If somebody ever invents a truly scent-free self-tanner, I will invest every last dime I have in that just so that I can have it. It is so gross. So for me to have something that is not self-tanner and not gonna make me tan smell like that, I refuse. I refuse. Catrice sent me their new Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation, which I was very excited to try because I feel like I have just been loving these kinds of products from the drugstore. This is supposed to be their most lightweight caring foundation, a skincare foundation hybrid. They say it offers buildable light to medium coverage for a long-lasting radiant complexion. It's enriched with nourishing hyaluronic acid and vitamin E and is feathery light. So I do agree that this is lightweight, but I don't agree that this gives light to medium coverage. This actually gives me quite a bit of coverage, and I have to be really careful when using it to make sure that I don't get too much coverage because it can get full coverage fast. And I just don't love that on my skin anymore. I definitely prefer something that's just like a true medium coverage. I can see my moles through it. That is just something that I think makes a really big difference in how makeup-y my makeup looks. Like I can do pretty much everything else the same, but if I use a medium coverage foundation and then a lip stain that's like glossy instead of a full coverage lipstick, like if I take the coverage down on those two things, it just immediately freshens up my look. So because I avoid fuller coverage products these days, that alone is just like a reason for me to not be obsessed with this. But on top of that, I feel like it also just doesn't wear very well for me. Initially, it does give me a really nice glowy finish. I think that that's pretty, but as the day goes on, this definitely gets shiny and starts to break up on my skin. And I've tested this out several times and that happens every time for me. So unfortunately, this one is just not a favorite for me. I know that a lot of people are really loving this, so give it a try if it's been something you're excited to test out. Don't let my review stop you unless you wanted to, unless you like need a reason to save money, then stop, maybe don't. But I definitely prefer my Maybelline skin tint and my L'Oreal skin tints. I think that those are still much better for me, much more my kind of product, better suited to what I'm looking for. So will not continue to use this. The other complexion product I was dying to try is the new About Face Skin Focused Foundation. So similar to Catrice, this is supposed to be a skincare foundation hybrid. Can you see the Elsie chew marks on this? Whenever I am getting ready to film and putting makeup on or curling my hair, she wants to then start digging through the boxes that I have on my floor in that room, which are either PR or like things that I've purchased. And I just let her at that point because I feel like it's fun for her, gives her something to do. But she will open up all the boxes of the products, give them a little gnaw, and then move on. It's so cute. So this is supposed to have a cushiony formula packed with 17 plus skincare ingredients to maintain moisture. It's claimed to help to even and smooth skin with every wear. It is a skin first hybrid foundation that's buildable, breathable, and wearable for up to 12 hours. It's supposed to be cake-free, seamless, natural soft focus finish. In terms of ingredients in this that are supposed to benefit our skin, especially like long term, I don't really know what that would be. This does have hyaluronic acid, does have vitamin E. The other things I'm seeing are just kind of like random plant extracts. Like the ingredients being called out here are things like blue agave and wintergreen. So I would take all of those claims about improving your skin with a teeny tiny grain of salt, but I was still very excited to try this given all of the amazing reviews. This does have a doe foot applicator, which I just never love for skin products or like complexion. I will say that this is not the easiest to blend for me unless I use a bit more product than I would want to. I have to kind of like work quickly to spread it. And I don't know if that's just because of the actual applicator. Like if this had a pump and I was able to spread it more, I would probably have better luck with it. But I don't know. I feel like it doesn't like spread out super easily unless, again, I'm using more product than I want to. And then if I'm using more product than I want to, I really hate the way that it looks. I think it looks too makeup-y. But when I use less product than that and I'm able to kind of finagle this to make it work, I think it looks nice initially. I'm just not obsessed with it. Like it's not one of those products like, for example, the Maybelline skin tint that I tried and was like, whoa, this makes my skin look amazing. This is also something that gets quite shiny on me by end of day, so it just does not work out for my oilier skin. If you also have oily skin, I would stick with things like Maybelline and L'Oreal. I think that those work better. I do, of course, wear setting powder with both of those, but I did with this too, and I still was looking very shiny. Okay, this is something I was really drawn to because I have been very into blush lighters recently, and this kind of looked like it had that same vibe. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow bronzer and blush. This is in the shade Healthy Glow, if they have more than one shade. And I thought that this looked beautiful. Like, does that not look so pretty and promising? But this just doesn't quite work out for me. So I was wanting to use it both as a bronzer and a blush. I was like, ooh, I feel like I could use this for different things depending on if I have self-tan on or not. But I do think that this pulls too orange for me to use as a bronzer when I mix in this like deeper bronze shade. It's just very, very orange in undertones. So then I will try to use it without that, but then I feel like it's just kind of awkward to use because then I can't swirl my brush in it and I have to go around and avoid it. I don't love that for an application experience. When I do use it like that, I like my results. I think it's pretty. It's like a summery peachy pink and it has a nice glow, but I definitely prefer the other blush lighters that I've been using, like from RMS, from M Cosmetics, who else? Ciate London has some really beautiful ones. I'll list some of my favorite blush lighters below. This is just not gonna be added to that list. L'Oreal came out with a new mascara, the Panorama mascara. You guys know I am so picky about mascaras, so I was ready to test this out when I was hearing all the good reviews. Here is what the wand looks like. It has that kind of classic tapered wand. I was excited to see how long the bristles were at the end here, even though, as per usual with mascaras like this, they should be longer towards the center. Oh my God, why is this so awkward? Trying to show you guys, there we go, that this is definitely bendy like this, like on a hinge, but the wand itself has a good amount of stiffness. This formula is not too wet and not too dry, but there is something about it that feels a little bit silicone-y. The only other mascara I've tried recently that's like that is the Benefit, oh gosh, what is it? Bad Gal Bang. I reviewed that in my last mascara showdown where I tested out 30 of the most highly rated, raved about high-end mascaras. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will list that below. It was like similar to this where it felt like there was something silicone-y in the texture of it. And I don't hate that. I think it's just unique. Thankfully, this builds well because with one coat, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, just not giving me great results, but it actually does build quite well on top of that first coat. And then I get really good length and volume and separation. I would say like all of it is solid, but nothing I was super crazy blown away by. So not going to replace any of my all-time favorite mascaras. Maybelline Lash Sensational is staying right where she is. But again, I do think it's really good. Oh, the other mascara, I guess I could include this because I'm wearing it right now. It's the new Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect in Black Brown. I'm just realizing now they call it Black Brown. I was hoping that this was just gonna be a brown mascara because the packaging is brown. I'll show you guys my lashes right now. Wow, that makes my skin look shiny when I'm close up like that. Excuse me. I am already flaking and smudging with this. Not good, because I've only had it on for a few hours, so that is not great. I do love how this is just subtler than a super black mascara on me. There's definitely something softer about it. Again, I just wish that it was actually just fully brown. Like that would make my heart happy. I feel like it's so hard to find mascaras that are actually truly brown and not just a little bit less black. Okay, so weird and random, but I wanted to quickly highlight these because both of these are things I wanted to test out for the purpose of under eye. So we'll do this one first. This is a Real Technique sponge that is specifically supposed to be for concealer. And I was like, ooh, the shape of that looks perfect. I like how this is slimmer and skinnier than the orange Real Technique sponge that I always use. And while the shape of it is perfect, the not texture. I was gonna say texture. That's not right. The material of this is not the exact same as the orange one. Like there's something about this. I can't quite put my finger on what's different about it, but the orange one is much better in my opinion. What is it? Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. It's almost like if this was a real sponge, this would be more porous, whereas the other one just feels more soft and seamless, and the way it fluffs up is just so perfect, and this is not quite on that level. So I'm just gonna continue using that orange one. This came in a little pack of 3, and this has a different material, really slickery. This is supposed to be for under eye concealer as well, and I was like, ooh, the shape of that looks great. I wanna use it for setting powder, but honestly, it's really annoying to use. I feel like it just ends up slipping around on my finger and I have to push it back down, and then my finger gets in the way. Like to use this in the way that I want, for the shape I want, look, I have to do it with my finger all the way at the bottom, and then it just falls off. Fail. Last but not least is a new Finery perfume. If you're not familiar with this brand, they launched in Target over a year ago. This is Pistachio Please. I was really excited to give this a whiff because I really love anything that has notes of like pistachio and marshmallow and baked goods, and I feel like those things usually all go together with a pistachio fragrance. And this one says that it smells like pistachio, milk, fluffy vanilla, and tonka bean. I mean, is that not perfect for me? And I do really love the smell of it. Like this does. Right up my nose. This does smell so yummy. It just fades so quickly on me. Wait, I'm looking at comments right now. I didn't realize people were saying that this is supposed to be a dupe of Sol de Janeiro. I can see where they're getting that. There are definitely some similar qualities, but it's different. Like this has something more earthy about it. I mean, it smells so good. It just, yeah, doesn't last. So we're pushing this over to the hair perfume section of my perfume collection. That is definitely what I like to do with any perfume that doesn't last on my skin or clothes. Use it as a hair perfume. That is a little hack for you. That is not really a hack at this point. I feel like most people know that, but it definitely makes it last quite a bit longer. And if you would like to see my favorite perfumes that have very similar qualities to that one from Finery, I will list my most recent perfume favorites video in the description box below. Like I said, I love anything that smells sweet, vanilla-y, like baked goods? No. Like baked goods, but at the same time, I like them to be really cozy and not overly sugary and sweet. Like there's a balance between those two things. So if you would like to know the perfumes that I love that I feel are just that perfect harmony of sweet and cozy, that'll be listed below. All right, you guys, those are all of the new drugstore launches that I wanted to share with you in today's video. Everything is going to be listed and linked in order of mention in my description box below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tried any of these products? Are you going to after watching this video? What else have you seen that's new at the drugstore or is just affordable that you would like me to test and review in my next new at the drugstore? Let me know. We can all chat in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video and making it until the end. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell and send my channel to a friend. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.